I have been under the impression for many, many years that you're the one who's been the one that's been taking care of all the family finances.
All I am is the bookkeeper. I am beginning to realize that Kody has been telling everybody that I somehow was controlling the money.
Oh, I actually really like the conversation between Meri and Christine. I love that they said a lot without saying a lot, which shows you that these women had a way of coexisting prior to Robin coming into the family, that they were still able to be cordial around one another, even though they were not the best of friends or they didn't like each other that much. And the audacity for Kody to say, I'm here with my shy, beautiful wife. Please keep quiet. We're not here for that. And Meri and Janelle, yeah, that was awkward, but at the same time, it was a conversation that needed to be had. And I understand Meri's reservations, even though a lot of people don't. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 9. Oh, a new episode of Sister Wives, and what could go wrong? You have Kody cleaning his driveway because he's got 8 inches of snow, so he needs to clean his driveway so that he can take his children to school. And it's like, this man, he needs to keep quiet. If he has nothing to record, he needs to sit in his house and keep quiet, because he's going all out to show he's a good father to these children, and yet he couldn't go with Isabel when she needed to have her back surgery. Please keep quiet. I'm not here for that nonsense. I don't care. I really would rather not see you and Robin's children try to pretend to be happy families. That's my opinion. Anyway, you have Janelle go to visit Meri. Janelle and Meri have been the diplomatic wives for Kody for as long as I could remember. They've always been so particular in what they say and how they come across, especially about the family and their relationships. They're both saying it's awkward because they haven't seen each other in a long time since the wedding, but they have no ill will towards one another, but it's just that they've always kept out of each other's way, and they've always tried to make the relationship work or the family work, which makes sense because Janelle was married to Meri's brother. It would be awkward for my ex-sister-in-law and I to be sharing my husband. That would be awkward. There's no two ways about it, because she went from being sisters-in-law to being sister wives to suddenly we're sharing the same man. Make that make sense. Someone who was sleeping with my brother is now sleeping with my husband. Let's be real. That's how it is. So I get the awkwardness. I get the the uncomfortableness of the situation as to why they would want to make it work, but they would never be besties because it's very awkward. Anyway, so Janelle is there to have a conversation with Meri about the fact that she's sat down and spoken to Kody about Coyote Pass, and she's concerned that Kody is going to try and swindle them out of their share of the property, which makes sense. Because at the end of the day, Kody's name is on all 4 lots of the property, whereas Meri's only on 1, Janelle is on 2, but Robin is on a lot that's similar size to Janelle, and then she's on the bigger lot. So at the end of the day, she still stands to benefit. If she doesn't get half, it looks like she's bound to get half of Coyote Pass if they were to sell it, because that's what she owns. Janelle owns maybe a third, and Meri will be lucky to get the crumbs, and Kody will get the bulk of the sales because he's getting a share from each lot that's being sold. So I get why Janelle is worried and why she felt the need to tell Meri that you need to look out for yourself, because at the end of the day, Kody, I don't think is going to look out for me. And I think Kody, on his part, has tried to bribe Meri because he knows Meri was his legal wife. And if Meri goes down the legal route, now that she's gotten some sort of confirmation from the church that she's legally divorced or she's completely divorced from Kody, she could still get what she's entitled to as his former legal wife. And she's got videos from the show anyway. And so I think this is why Meri is so set that Kody is going to look out for her. Janelle, I know, has always been the bookkeeper of the family, as she said, and I think Meri, trusting that Janelle was keeping hold of the finances, gave her the security of not wanting to check on every single thing, because apparently Kody was running around telling everyone that Janelle is responsible for managing the funds when all she did was the books. So there was always this trust in between the 3 OG wives that, will always look out for one another. So I think Meri assumed that if I put my money in the pot and Janelle is the one who's running the money, she's not going to squander the money, not realizing that no, all Janelle does is the bookkeeping. Kody is the one who's responsible for dispensing the money. And so I appreciate Janelle sort of speaking to Meri and saying to Meri, you need to look out for yourself. She's more or less telling her, you need to get a lawyer because you're going to get nothing at the end of the day when these properties are sold if we don't pay them off. Because Meri, I think, was being convinced by Kody to provide funds to pay off Coyote Pass on the understanding that she would get a share. But there's no point in her providing funds when all she stands to gain is a third of not even two-thirds of not even a third of the. So she's getting what? She's getting a third of Coyote Pass. She's not even getting a third of the whole of Coyote Pass, but she's getting a third of a portion of Coyote Pass. And so I don't get why she should be the one running around raising money. I feel like Janelle is right to say this is your whole estate. You need to look out for it. As I said last week, Meri and Janelle deserve a portion of McMansion, and they also deserve a portion of Coyote Pass. So they deserve a quarter from Coyote Pass each, and then they deserve whatever they put into McMansion and whatever equity it has gained over the years. They deserve that. They deserve to be paid back because at the end of the day, that's their money that facilitated McMansion being bought. So it's right that they deserve a share of that. So you have Christine and David go house shopping. Well, they're really moving at the speed of lightning. I guess when you know, because David is saying that his dad knew his mom for a week before he proposed to her. So I guess at their age, they're at an age whereby you have no time to waste. You want to know that the person you're getting in a relationship with is really serious. So it seems like they were both dating to get married. David said he was dating to find someone to spend the rest of his life with. He's raised his kids, so he just wants companionship. So I guess it makes sense. The houses they saw, I agree with them that the second one looked way better. I loved the second one. The first and the second and the third one were not it. And so to see them house hunting is fast. And so for Christine to say that in Vegas, she planned everything herself and Kody was not involved. And so it's interesting that now she sort of has to seek a second opinion. And then you have Kody on the couch saying, no, we did everything together. No, Kody, you didn't. Because I remember one time Meri was saying she wanted a wet room and everyone was kicking off. And Meri was adamant that she wanted it because it's something that she deserved. And Kody didn't say anything about wanting or not wanting that. For him to say he was involved in everything that those wives did and there was a companionship and sort of a give and take. No, there wasn't. You just came, you were a guest, you stayed whatever many nights you were staying and you moved on. Where you knew you were comfortable is at Robin's house. That's where you made yourself comfortable and made sure that your opinion was heard in what you needed to make you feel comfortable there. So don't argue about stupid stuff. Anyway, you have Christine and the rest of the children. So all her children from Utah go with her to Flagstaff because Gwendolyn is having her bridal shower. And that's cute. That's really cute. Obviously, David goes along and he gets to meet Gabriel and Savannah. So you have David meet Savannah and Gabriel. I have a feeling that Garrison was there, but out of compassion for the family, and I think in agreement with the family, TLC have sort of taken out his scenes because you have Gabriel sort of having a conversation with David, asking him, how did you meet, Christina, and how is it going? How do you feel about her? Which was very good. This is one thing I like about Janelle's children. And I said this last time that I love the way Janelle has raised the children to be self-advocates, to be able to be rational thinkers and independent thinkers for that. The fact that Garrison was able to have a coherent conversation with David without telling him, you're moving too fast, I'm uncomfortable, I'm this. No, he just asked the questions that needed to be asked so that he understood. So where did you go on your first date? What did you watch? Oh, how was it? Blah, blah. That was a very good conversation, in my opinion. For someone of Gabriel's age, I think that was commendable. Obviously, Janelle wasn't able to be there because Maddie was about to sort of give birth. So she decided to go and be with Maddie and then she'd come and meet them at Gwendolyn's bridal shower. We did see Gwendolyn. She was there. She seems at peace. And she was sort of asking, what's the age difference between the two of you and what do you do for a living? Which I think she has a different way of thinking as compared to the rest of her sibling. McKelty, Aspen, and Isabel, their way of thinking is more their mother's way of thinking. Truly, we never know where she stands. So it's nice to see that at least Christina has someone who's sort of independent thinker, if you get what I mean. And I like the conversation. I thought it was sweet. I think it was nice them getting to meet him. Obviously, I did understand what McKelty meant by it seems like it's being shoved down their throats that you have to get to know him, whether you like it or not, because this is the man that I plan on marrying. Janelle was saying, Christine is a hopeless romantic, and so, she's always looked for a fairy tale ending, and this seems to be a fairy tale for her, and I hope it works. And that's the way it comes across, that Christine was looking for a soulmate, and when she met David, she was like, this is my soulmate, and she's stuck with it, and she's running with it. She deserves it after what she went through with Kody, so I wouldn't criticize her for that, but I just would want her to be very careful in case it doesn't work out. It seems they're still happily married, so good for her. If that works, amazing. So the purpose of Christine going to Flagstaff was obviously to host a bridal shower for Bia and Gwendolyn. And so apparently Kody had told Gwendolyn that he wouldn't be able to make it. And then I think he found out on the day off that, David was there and was going to be a part of the celebration. And him not wanting to be outdone by David, decided to attend. And I think also the other reason was he wanted to suss out what David looks like. That's the impression that I get. I don't think he went there just because he wanted to support his daughter. I think he went there because he wanted to see the competition and see what David looked like. And this is why he presented himself at the party. They had him walk in with Meri and Robin. What do I think? I think that was producer based. And it could be Meri felt uncomfortable walking in on her own, given how things had been tense the last time she met up with Christine, when Christine said she didn't want anything to do with any of the other sister wives but Janelle. So I get it, but I like that once they walked in, Meri sort of was welcomed by the children because they all went, Meri, Meri, and then she sort of went to speak to Gwendolyn. What I've noticed over the years is Meri is very supportive of the children, regardless of her relationships with the mothers. And so whenever she's invited, she always presents. And I think she's always had, because I remember there was a time one of Christine's children moved in with her. I can't remember whether it was Gwendolyn or Isabel. I have a feeling it was Gwendolyn, because one of Christine's children was not getting along with Christine, and she ended up living with Meri. That was in Vegas, I think, for a bit. And so it was nice to see Meri there, and Meri sort of be welcomed by the children that welcomed her. She had a conversation with Christine, which I felt was heartwarming, because they could be cordial even though they were not besties. And the fact that Meri made a joke about the catfishing incident when she found out that Christine and David met online. And the conversation, I think, got a bit deep, even though they were trying not to say anything on camera. This is something they've always done. Meri has always tried not to be inappropriate. Christine has always been outspoken and spoke her mind, but with Janelle and Meri, they've always been censored in what they would say on camera and what they wouldn't say. And Christine saying it does get better after divorce. I get it, and I understand it. And sadly for her, the problem is she is at acceptance, and the other ladies are going still through the stages of grieving the end of their relationship with Kody, transitioning from being married to suddenly being, independent single women. So Meri saying that she's still sort of trying to understand and sort of come to terms with it makes sense to me. Meri has, although Kody hasn't had anything to do with her for almost a decade, the problem is she's had Robin in her ear telling her that Kody's coming back, Kody's coming back, Kody's coming back. And because she's been holding on to hope, and Janelle said Mary's very loyal, she hasn't considered herself divorced. And I think the catfishing incident also had an impact on her, that this is why she hasn't thought of life away from Kody, and now she's having to do that. So I understand her sort of saying, I am still in this transitional stage where I don't know what it looks like on the other side. And the problem is I'm not besties with Christine, and we're not in a very comfortable relationship where I can tell her about what's going on with me, which is understandable. It's understandable given the fact that Christine said she didn't want anything to do with Meri once she left the family. So I get where she's coming from. And it's really sad because they were all able to sort of coexist very well for years and years and years. And all the wives agree that it's very sad that the family has ended the way it has, because their hope was that they would still continue to be family, irregardless of whether they were with Kody or not. And somehow, because of the tension in the family, this is where they are. Kody and Robin really looked uncomfortable, and you could tell that none of the children wanted anything to do with him, because people like Gabriel didn't even you didn't even see Gabriel stand next to him. Hunter was just with the kids. He didn't spend any time with his dad, and so the only person who seemed to entertain his dad and Robin the most was Mackelty, and we all know Mackelty had a good relationship with Robin and Kody for a while. So eventually I think production sort of said, right, let's get David to come and meet Kody, and that was awkward. That really was awkward. I don't even know why they would even bother doing that to anybody at all. For Kody to say, I'm here with my shy and beautiful wife, and to repeat it, it's like, so who are you trying to convince? Who are you trying to convince? Because we are all not convinced that your wife is that beautiful, neither is she that shy. So please keep your opinion to yourself, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I found that meetup between David and Kody more awkward than actually Christine and Meri, and that's surprising. That really is surprising. The audacity for Kody to say, have you held the grandchildren? And it's like, well, buddy, he's been here, he spent the night here. What do you think? What do you think? And then Mackelty, the low blow for her to say, actually, he's babysat them. That was a good one. I really loved that, because at the end of the day, Kody hasn't really had that much of a relationship with his grandchildren. He spent most of his time with his favorite children. So to be told that another man is stepping into your shoes, I love that. I love that. And so they have this meetup, they're having conversations which are very awkward, which are very tense. I don't know whether it's the edit or whether that's actually what happened. And then for Kody to complain that, oh, David keeps looking into Robin's eyes, he's not looking at me. And it's like, what do you think? Do you think David is coming after your wife? Make that make sense? He's not interested in your wife. It's only you who is interested in your wife. So you don't need to worry about this man and your wife. He's not going to chase after your wife. He's not interested in starting anything with her. So you can be at peace and you can continue in your happy place. What do I think? I really don't understand why we needed to have that. Yeah, they could have had that off camera. They didn't need to have it on camera. But then at the same time, I guess some fans might have wanted to see the first meetup. I love that David was able to hold his own and actually say, I have a family. I have, so many grandchildren. I have 8 children. I have 10 grandchildren. And I'm used to being around people and being around a lot of noise. So that was enough for me to say good for him to show Kody that I'm not intimidated by you, neither am I intimidated by your family, because this is normal for me, and I've only ever had one wife, and I've looked after my children for the past 11 years. And it's like, oh, and Kody can't even look after his children who are down the road. Hey, it is what it is. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 8. Bye guys.